So thank you, Liliana. Ciao, first of all.
Of course, thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to finally get to speak with you. So I don't know if you want to start by giving a small introduction about who you are, when you are arriving to Italy, what you're gonna do here.
Yeah, of course. So, my name is Liliana. I'm from the United States. I'm Mexican American, so my dad is from Mexico and my mom is from the States. But I grew up in a small town in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I'm from the southwest of the US. I'm 22. I'm turning 23 in June, and I'm coming to Italy in basically 3 weeks. So I'm really excited.
So you're gonna stay with us for 2 months,
Yes.
and you're going to Sestri Levante.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you in a bit to tell us why you picked that location. But the first thing that I wanted to ask you, because I think it's super interesting, I know that you already know some Italian, and the reason why is because you studied languages, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so tell me a bit about how did you decide to study languages? Which ones did you study? And then tell me more about why did you pick Italian? How long have you been studying it? How's it going so far?
Yeah, of course. So I just graduated from Scripps College last May with my bachelor's in foreign languages and linguistics. And when I went my freshman year, I knew right away that I wanted to major in languages. Linguistics was a little bit later, but languages was automatic. Um, I grew up in a bilingual household, so both of my parents speak English and Spanish. But I really wanted to just develop a stronger sense of understanding in literature and film. So I studied Spanish. I wrote my thesis on kind of Spanish linguistics. And Italian was something that I was deciding between Italian or Portuguese. I wanted to learn a third language really, really bad, but I didn't know whether Italian or Portuguese. And I went with my family to Rome in 2018. None of us spoke Italian. I didn't know how to say buongiorno, ciao, nothing. Um, and I just fell in love right away. The language is so beautiful, the people were so kind, and my college has an Italian department. So I took Italian 1, and I just met the best professors of my life, and they were so kind and they guided me. So I started with Italian 1 all the way to basically my thesis. I wrote my thesis in Italian. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So what's your level right now?
Um, Probably B2, I would say.
Sei
Yeah.
bravissima.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then you told me when we first spoke that you actually decided to come to Italy because you want to improve even more and like speak Italian on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a really good understanding of Italian, kind of at an academic level. I would say I can write really well. I've read like Boccaccio and kind of all of those authors. I've read Elena Ferrante, but I am really missing like that daily conversation because I did my study abroad. It was 6 weeks in Sorrento. I did an internship with the foreign language department, but I didn't make any Italian friends when I was there. So I'm really hoping to just like get that daily conversation, kind of the slang that they use, like all of that kind of fun stuff that I'm missing.
Nice, and that's exactly what you're gonna get. Basically, I think it's like a lot of our students come here, and some already know some Italian, maybe not the level that you have. I mean, very few have your same level, but they all just want to get like the day-to-day vocabulary and just being able to speak with locals. And so I think you're definitely gonna get that. And I think that 2 months and a half is already like a very nice like amount of time to start doing that. Um, Tell me more about your internship in Sorrento. Like you went for 6 weeks. When was it? How did it go?
So that was the summer of 2023. Um, and I went with Santana University,
Mhm.
which is like, I think it's an American university in Italy. So everything it's like taught in the classes are taught in English.
Uh-huh.
Um, at the time that I went, they weren't offering like literature courses. So they said like we think this will be really good for you, like this internship. Um, and I worked with the Spanish department, the Italian department, and the English department. So with the English department, I went to Massa Lumbrense and we taught little kids English, which was so fun and so sweet. And I
Nice.
got to just like, see a small town in Italy, and work with cute Italian kids, which was really fun. And then with the Spanish department, I did conversations with a local student who was learning Spanish, so I just helped him practice.
Mhm.
Um, and then I worked with the Italian department to teach the American students Italian, which
Nice.
is,
So
yeah,
you were like giving them lessons basically.
yeah.
And how did it go? Like how was it to be like on the other side of the table, like teaching instead of being taught?
It was it was definitely challenging, I think. I understand the grammar. I understand I think what it's like to learn the grammar, which is really helpful.
Mhm.
Um, but was trying to give them a challenge with literature, so I brought a book, but it didn't match the level. So it was a little challenging, like trying to adjust everything for them. And yeah.
Nice. No, but still, I mean, I think for you to teach Italian while being in Italy, it was already like a nice way to be like really exposed to the language. But you said that you didn't really make a lot of Italian friends. How do you think that happened?
I think that it had to do with the fact that the school was American because I got really lucky. I made some really good friends, but they were part of the program and they were my friends from like literally the first day. Like I went in and I didn't know anybody, but I was so lucky I met these two girls and they didn't speak any Italian. And
Mhm.
so I just ended up hanging out with them kind of a lot of the time. I
Yeah.
do have an Italian friend from college, which has been really nice.
Nice.
Yeah, but I've never been able to have an Italian friend in Italy, so I'm excited for that.
Nice. No, you're gonna find them, of course. And I mean, what I can see with a lot of our students is that sometimes, even though they don't know that much of Italian, or like they're not Italian, any of them, but like they don't have a common language to speak. So, I mean,
Mhm.
you're not gonna have this kind of problem because you know both English and Spanish. But for example, I remember seeing like some of our American students speaking in Italian with the Spanish ones because the Spanish ones like prefer to speak Italian to them rather than switch to English all the time. And the American ones did not know Spanish enough, other than like 2 or 3 words. So
Mhm.
in the end, the common ground was always Italian. And then we have like some French, German people, people from Australia. So I mean, in the end, there's always like the necessity to have like a common language that is always Italian. So maybe for you, it's not gonna be that because you know both English and Spanish,
Yeah.
but definitely you're gonna speak with the locals, so it's not a problem. And like you're coming to Sestri Levante in summer, which is like gonna be packed with people, and so this is really gonna be not perfect.
Yeah.
So
So
I wanted to ask you, like, you've already like told me these before, so that you really want to come to Italy because you want to like grasp the day by day um Italian basically. But what do you expect from this experience? Like, what are your expectations, like to pass from a B2 to a C1, or just simply to feel more fluent while speaking, to feel more confident? What is that why did you decide to come to Italy, basically?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so obviously I would like to end C1.
Mhm.
That's my hope is to end the program C1. Um, but I had been trying for the past year, so I graduated last May. For the past year, I've been thinking about moving to Italy. And I like for months was like, I just want to go to Italy. Like, I just don't really want to live like in the US. I felt this like call to go. And I think it's because I know that I have so much potential in the language that's it's just like right there. I think immersing myself in the culture is really, really going to help. And so, obviously I'd like to end C1, but my biggest hope is to just be able to connect with the locals and kind of really further understand the culture and practice the language as much as I can.
Okay. And can I ask you, what are you doing now? Like, and are you gonna leave and stop what you're doing before arriving? Or are you gonna continue whatever it is?
Yeah. So basically, I've been working a restaurant job to save up money to come
Mhm.
to Italy. Um, so it's been very flexible. I'm not a student. I'm not employed full time. So I kind of am in a really good position that I can kind of just pick up and leave.
Mhm.
And when I come back, that's the big question.
What are your expectations? Like, you want to use this period just to focus on the language, or you also want to use it to, like, maybe better understand what you want to do later? You also said that you would like to live in Italy. Is that like a test to see if then it would be a good fit permanently?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a test because I think my two options from this experience is like one, I'm gonna feel really fulfilled, I'm gonna have a really good time, and I'm gonna come back and work in the US, maybe in something related to languages or travel. My other possibility that I don't know is like I'm just so in love with my life there that I want to move there like full time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. But still, I mean, this is gonna be a nice way to get like some time to really focus on something that you really like, and also to better understand what are your next steps basically moving forward. So I think this is really like a very important point in your life, because from here you're gonna see things in a much clearer way. Hmm. Yes, this is so nice. I think that I wanted to ask you about what you think would be like the biggest challenge for you. I mean, a lot of our students immediately say the language. So you don't really have that. I want to know if you have any other concern.
Yeah. I think it's a good question. I think that probably something I struggled with, one thing I struggled with in Sorrento that I'm like, I wonder if I'll struggle with it again, was like speaking in Italian in a touristy town. So I know that Sestri Levante is different because it's touristy for Italians.
Mhm.
And Sorrento is very popular for
Yeah.
Americans. So when I went to Sorrento and I sometimes would try to order, they're so nice and they just automatically are like, "Oh, like she speaks English, so let's help her." Like, she
Yeah.
doesn't want to practice or something. And I really wanted to practice my Italian. So I don't know if that's gonna happen. I've been thinking like, what can I say? Like, do I need to say like I like to practice my Italian? Can I practice my
Yeah,
Italian with
definitely.
you?
You
Yeah.
should, definitely, 100%. I mean, that's actually true that Sestri, there are a lot of Italians and tourists from Italy, but also because it's a very small village and because there's our school, there are a lot
Mm.
of there are going to be a lot of people that are not Italian. So locals are used to it, you know?
Mhm.
Especially because during summer there are not only Americans like you, but also a lot of people from France, from Germany that are like just around the corner basically, and they come to enjoy the Italian sun instead of like the rain in Germany. So they are used to foreigners
Mhm.
regardless of the size of the town. But in Italy, we really love when people try to speak our language, and we're always gonna try to help you out. So just you have to say like fammi provare a parlare in italiano, like let me just try to speak in Italian perché voglio praticare. So,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, your level is already high enough. So I think that if you just start to speak to them in Italian and you just tell them, let's stick to Italian, they're never gonna like say no. So
Yeah.
I understand your concern, but I think it's this is gonna be fine.
Yeah. Good, good.
So another question that I had is like, what do you look forward the most? Like besides the language thing, is there something else? Like, are you concerned that it's so far from home or whatever? Like what it is that you're really looking forward to?
Yeah. So many things. One of the big things is so the town that I live in is in the desert. So we have no water, no
Oh
beach,
my
no,
God.
yeah. So I'm so, so excited to be around some water. That's my big thing right now.
You know, at the school, it's literally in front of the sea. Like
Yeah.
you open the window or like you go for your coffee break between classes and you're literally in front of the sea.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm so excited. Yeah. It's gonna be, yeah, perfect. And in the summer too. I love the summertime. I'll be there for my birthday.
Hey,
So
it's in
that would
June,
be
you
really
said,
fun.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So kind of just, yeah, being in, I've never been to the north. The furthest north I've been in Italy is Firenze.
Okay.
I've
So
never
match the
been,
center, basically.
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. So it'll be my first time in the north, which is fun.
nice. Okay. And Sestri is not even like the typical north of Italy because again, there's the sea, etc. But from there, you definitely have to come to Milan to visit us. And
Oh.
and yeah, definitely. Then from there, like, are you planning on doing some trips outside of Italy or you're just planning on
I think so. I really want to travel, so I have some places on my list.
nice? Okay, perfect. That's one of the most important things. So you're gonna have plenty of time. This is so nice. Um, Another thing that I wanted to ask you is, I'm sure that they have told you already, but you know, classes are gonna be taught in Italian since day one. Um, I know that your level is already pretty high, so I think that like you're gonna feel comfortable with it, but like, are you kind of nervous? Like in the US, was your class completely taught in Italian or was it like in
Yeah, everything was taught in Italian. I took like they called them upper division classes, so literature classes that were taught fully in Italian. Like I took a disunification Italy. It was like history of Italy, all in Italian.
Mhm.
Those classes are the ones that I'm more nervous about because I can get a little lost and kind of confused. The grammar, I feel like I'm not embarrassed to make mistakes. Like I feel very open and ready and yeah, I reached out to you and said, "Can we speak in Italian?" So I'm ready even before I get there.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Absolutely. Okay. So, but I mean, in the end, it's gonna be like classes on grammar and classes on conversation. They're gonna let you do exercises, divide you in groups. So in the end, it's not like they're gonna talk about like topics that are super
Right.
complex. So absolutely, I think you're gonna do like just fine.
Yeah.
And if anything, like always the most important thing, and also the teachers are gonna tell you like just stop, ask questions, don't be afraid to make mistakes. because it's the most important thing. And luckily, like you are already in the mindset like I want to go and speak with people, because one of the major problems that some students have is like that they're terrified to just go outside of the school, which is like the safe zone, and just speak. And but that's really the thing that it's going to help you the most, because one thing is like when you're like in a controlled environment, and one thing is like when you are outside. So I mean it's gonna be fine. Like one thing is gonna help the other, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. I think I've asked you everything. Actually, one thing that I wanted to know, how come that you pick Sestri
Oh
out
yeah.
of all the destinations that we have? Because of the sea, or was there some? Because I mean, we also have Cefalù for the sea. If you,
Yeah, I did talk to Aneta about Cefalu.
Mhm.
I think that we ended up picking Sestri Levante because it was such like it was easy to let me restart this. It's easy to get around, like to
Uh-huh.
other places if I wanted to visit. So I
Yeah.
told Aneta that I wanted to really travel
Okay,
throughout Italy and to other countries when I was there. And Sestri, I think, is a little bit easier to travel
definitely.
around than Cefalu. But in terms of in comparison to all the other cities, I just love small towns. And I loved Sorrento, and Sestri and Sorrento are kind of the same
Yeah,
population.
vibe. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Vibe
so
size.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think it's going to be a really good fit for me and my personality and just who I am.
Okay, no, that makes absolute sense. And I mean, it's amazing. We were there. We did a student meetup last summer. We're gonna do another one in July this year. So we're also gonna meet you there. And it's just stunning. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. So I'm really look forward to meet you there. And I can't wait for you to be there. And of course, you're gonna show us like how's it going there, and for all the people that are like following us on our social and our YouTube channel. So they're gonna know more on how's it going. And so I thank you so much again for your time and for this call. And we'll just talk soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Liliana.